Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's one, I'm going to be taking a look at something that just really makes me smile, something that I'm really happy with having in my collection. Even though it's commercially available and stuff, it's just something that's really nifty, really cool. Most of you should know by now, I love miniature things. Miniature figurines, miniature tech, miniature, just all sorts of things. Anything that's a smaller version of something, I like. Within reason. Don't take that out of context. And the item that I'm going to be reviewing today, I have heard of, and I did know it existed, but I actually was just browsing Marketplace, just nonchalantly browsing Marketplace, and I found this for $20 Australian, and I went, I want this, I'm going to go pick it up right now. So that's exactly what I did. And I've had time to play around with this thing, and I have to say it is impressive for what it is. But let's go over what exactly this thing is first. This is the Thumby, the world's smallest handheld game console, and it's made by a company called Tiny Circuits, and you can currently purchase it from their site for $29.95 US, which is about $36 Australian or something like that. I'll display a little currency conversion chart so you get a rough idea of how much this costs around the world, and I'm fairly sure that you should be able to get international shipping straight from here. But yeah, 30 US for this in 4 different colorways. Obviously, I have the standard retro colorway, which is grey, and this is the smallest handheld gaming console. There is nothing that is smaller than this. It does come with 5 preloaded games, but with this review, I've actually preloaded most of the games you can actually download onto the unit. So we're going to be trying to play every single one of them to see how I go with trying to handle this. You can also add games using their in-browser code editor. So you connect it to the computer, open up the code editor within Chrome, and you can do everything you need to do. You can program stuff via MicroPython and all that sort of good stuff. It's pretty cool, even though I don't know how to code or anything like that. The option's there for those people who do know how to code. Now, a lot of people have already covered this, but I just sort of wanted to do my own take on this, and already I can say I love this thing, but it's also very impractical, and you'll see what I mean very soon. The technical specifications of this thing, it actually runs a Raspberry Pi Pico RP2040 processor. It has 2 megabytes of internal storage, only 2 megabytes, I know, but for a device this big, that's not going to be an issue. It has a micro USB port for programming and multiplayer as well. The best bit though is the display size, 0.38 by 0.27 inches. That is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a screen this small on any device. Even the front screens of most, flip phones had bigger displays on them, that's for sure. But it's a monochrome OLED display, and it also has a piezo speaker, but I have not heard any sound from this while testing it. We've got 6 tactile buttons, 4-way D-pad and 2 action buttons, a 40 mAh battery that gives you about 2 hours of gameplay, which honestly the games are really just more of a thing to quickly pick up and then that's it. I don't actually see someone doing a full-on gaming experience with this thing, it's just more of a technical marvel. The size of this thing is 29.5mm by 18mm by 8.5mm, built in a sturdy polycarbonate plastic case with the built-in battery and buzzer, and programming is via MicroPython using the Thumby code editor or an Arduino. Is that how you pronounce it? Arduino? So with that in mind, if you have not seen this in the hands of somebody, you're probably thinking, it can't be that small. No, that's not what she said. Let me show you exactly how small this console is. Ta-da! This is the Thumby box. We have to zoom in, don't we? We have to go right in. So on the box, we just have a sticker of the console there with some little colors coming up between it. That's pretty much it. The box has this cool little texture to it, if you can see that, which is kind of nice. I don't even think this comes with a micro USB cable, but the console itself is right here. This thing is just so adorable. It just brings a smile to my face when I see this thing. Look at this little tiny thing, and that's the whole unboxing experience. That's it. There's a little lanyard attached to this. I don't know if I want to keep this on or take it off. I might just take it off for the whole sake of this review because it might get in the way of truly trying to play this properly. That is a mini sim from older phones, of course, so if you're in the newer generation, you probably haven't used a mini sim, but for most folks, you should get an idea of that is how a mini sim compares to the Thumby. But you know what's even more ridiculous? The screen size on this is equivalent to the contact area of a nano SIM card. So if you're watching this to get an idea of how the screen size is on this device, grab a nano SIM card, take a look at it, and pretend you're seeing a game on there. That's what you're looking at right now, is that on here. It's insane how technology has just been shoved into this. The case is, yeah, just a plastic shell, and then the hole for the lanyard. You got the little power switch on the top there, micro USB port at the bottom, which basically takes up the entire thing, and the buttons. You've got the D-pad, and you have 2 buttons, A and B. Let me just say, trying to play this is a challenge in itself, because I don't have the biggest hands on the planet. Just trying to even navigate the menus, which I'll show you very soon, is almost ridiculous in itself. But it's just, as I said, it's more of a technological marvel to go, hey, we have the tiniest game console. It may not be practical, but it's still cool to have and go, here, look, I have the smallest game console, and here it is. The buttons themselves, though, feel like, to give you an idea, just normal power buttons on the side of a phone sort of thing. That's what they feel like, but just to a very smaller extent. But they're just obviously very close together, and my thumb right next to that sort of gives you an idea of how small this thing is. So if we go ahead and power it on, there is the display, which is kind of flickering. There we go. I think I've fixed that. That should be fixed now. Okay, so I can't remember the exact game list that was already on here, but I've put Annelid, Bricked, Burns Brick Breaker, DVD Corner Remix, Fireplace, Floppy, Journey 3D, Micro Golf, Micro Gradient, Micro Tank, OBS, Out Thumb, Pico Invaders, Pico Pack, Saw Run, Space Debris, Stacker, Tennis, Thario, Thumbjin, Tiny Blocks, and Tiny Monster Trainer. So we're going to be playing all of these games. Out of all of the arcade games that you can get, this is pretty much 90% of them right here. I've used up 1.42 megs of the 2 megabytes on this. Even just trying to navigate this, you're basically almost pushing all 4 buttons at the same time. It's quite ridiculous, but it's just in its glory right there. Let's see if we can go ahead and play some games on this. I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit more. Let's start with the first game, which is Annelid. There we go, press A and B, and game over. Okay, and we're back at the start again. I'm not too sure what this is, actually. Oh, Snake. It's Snake. I kind of left playing the games to the review because I didn't want to sort of ruin anything. I have played a few of them, but this is Snake. If you can even... Yeah, I can't really say how ridiculous this is, but trust me, it's a lot more difficult than it seems. The smoothness of this display is really nice as well. Imagine playing Doom on this display. That would be absolutely hilarious. I wish we could, but I've tried looking up Doom ports, and with only 2 buttons, you're not going to get that far. Sorry for this footage seeming a little bit out of place, but I have completed this video. I'd finished it 100% and I was ready to publish it until I double-checked the arcade. I completely forgot about 3D Maze. I want to show you 3D Maze. But there's been a development. Someone has ported Doom to this. It's not a full version of Doom, but it's just a very proof of concept thing. So I want to show you 3D Maze first and then show you Thumb. So let's start with 3D Maze. Also, no band-aids because I kind of thought maybe it's a little bit easier to play this, and I can't see a thing. Here we go. Alright, and this is it. This is 3D Maze. So you navigate this to try and... There you go. So basically this is Doom without any weapons. And you're going ahead and trying to find the exit of the maze, which is quite self-explanatory, I would assume. Once again, very hard to control. Even with a little tiny bit of a thumbnail, it's still ridiculous to try and somewhat navigate this. I'll get there one day. Hey, I did it. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. Well, that's perfectly playable. Now here comes the fun part. Doom. Wait for it. Oh my god, it has the Doom. It has E1 M1. That is amazing. So press start. We'll just press this one. Oh my god, look at it go. Okay, so move, rotate, strafe, stop, auto, shoot. Okay, I'm just going to press buttons and hope it works. There's Doom guy. There we go. Holy moly. There's Doom. While it's not going to be completely accurate, it's Doom on this, which is just insane. The there's a monster, there's a pinky, and I reloaded there. That's so cool. There's no beeps or boops or anything like that. It's only just the Doom E1M1 sound, and that's it. But that runs extremely well. Oh, that's a monster that I just think I ran into and killed that. Oh, there's another monster there. He's coming. Hang on. Oh, there he is. There we go. Got him. You hold B and that's to strafe. So you only have one weapon, which is the shotgun, but that's pretty fine. The double-barrel shotgun. Of course you're going to need that. Chainsaw would have been nice, but hey man, this is Doom running on this. As I said, I had finished with this video, was ready to publish it and everything, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to quickly just double check, because I want to try 3D Maze, and sure enough, someone had ported Doom to this in the span of the time of making this video, so well done to the person who ported Doom to this, well, you know, made this Doom-inspired tech demo sort of thing. It's amazing. Well done. I wasn't satisfied with the video because I was like, Doom's not on this. Doom should be on this. Doom runs on anything. And here it is. Not that I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'd probably have to hold this right up to my eyeballs to see where I'm going. It's Doom on this. Absolutely amazing. The next game we have is Bricked. So this is basically Breakout. You hit... you hit the ball and you have Breakout. This is it. It's Breakout. There's supposed to be beeps, I believe, but yeah, there's just nothing from what I've tried. But this is actually playable because you're only using left and right, and you can somehow sort of put your thumb right in the center of the D-pad and then move left and right sort of thing. When it's all four buttons, it becomes just a little bit tedious. I'm also using the viewfinder to see what I'm doing, because if I don't use the viewfinder, I'm not going to have any clue what I'm looking at. So I apologize if all you're seeing is just fingers all over the screen. The next one is another Brick Breaker game. This one's a lot faster. As you can see, this one is very fast and just, it's a little bit ridiculous. You can just stay right there and let it do its thing. The actual platform itself moves so fast that one click of the button and that's it, it's already gone. The other Brick Breaker game is a lot more easier to play than this one because this one's just a little too fast. It's here if you want to challenge. If you want to challenge yourself to play the world's smallest version of Brick Breaker in extreme challenge mode, here it is. And pretty much every time you get a game over, you have the option to pretty much just restart the console via one of the button presses. You don't have to continuously switch it on and off. Sometimes you have to, but for the most part, it's just one button and that's it. We have something that I just thought was so silly, but here it is. The famous DVD screen on a Thumby on your 0.38 inches across by 0.27 inches down screen. This exists. Someone programmed this. Well done to whoever programmed this, actually. I'm just trying to get the screen as close as I can to the camera. That's about as good as I'm gonna get. And then now if I take it away from the camera, I have to zoom so far in just so you can see what's going on. So yeah, this is one of the things that you have to reset the console to actually continue on. But once you've done that, that's it. You can then come back to the games. We have Fireplace up next. This is more of a tech demo than anything, but it's pull up a seat by the fire, weary traveller, and rest. You're tired. Feed. There's more text. Take a moment to hear the autofocus crackle and let the... Oh, it's not going to autofocus now. Let the charred air fill slow. Yeah, no, this is not going to autofocus now. Hang on, I got to fix that. There you go. You can literally sit there and watch flames on your Thumby. Imagine a beautiful night, you're sitting outside and you just pull out your Thumby and go, let's sit by the campfire, folks. But it's very smooth though. That's the best part of it, is that it's so smooth. The animation is just extremely smooth on there. Like if we tried to do this on a Welcome device, that wouldn't be that smooth, but on this, it's just super, super smooth. Once you're finished with this, you have to switch off the console and switch it back on. But yeah, more of a tech demo, that is. Well, the whole thing is a novelty, really, so yeah. Speaking of novelty, Flappy Bird on this thing. So how does a port of Flappy Bird go on the Thumby? I'll show you. You're already dead. I got one when I was playing it the other day. I was like, oh, That's pretty cool. You thought Marshmallow Land or Lollipop Land was difficult, yet try it on a display of this size and see how you go. I just want to get one so that I'm satisfied that I got one. Oh, there you go. I got one. I'm happy now. We have Journey 3D, which is another tech demo. Right there. Look at this. Look at it go. A 3D demo on the Thumby. But it's just very impressive to see a 3D game. There you go. It is very impressive to see, I will say that. The next game on the list is Micro Golf. Very self-explanatory. It's golf on this. You're the circle and you move your line to wherever the hole is, and then you just do that and you've done it. And then now you do this one. So we're gonna just try and do a trick shot like that. And we failed. Oh, close. Close. Oh, it's rolling. It's getting there. Oh, so close. There you go. That's actually quite playable. That's actually really, really fun. Let's see if I can get this real quickly. Trick shot. Oh, nice. What a goal there. But yeah, Micro Golf's pretty fun. The next one is Micro Gradient, which is a space shooter. There you go. So yeah, you use the D-pad to move your ship around the screen and you just try and shoot the enemies as best as you can. And there you go. That's how that works. It's a little fun retro shooter, I guess. We have Micro Tank, which is a tank game. You're a tank and you try and blow the other tank up. So this is another multiplayer game, so you could link these two together and off you go. But oh, hang on. Getting there. Oh, I'm in a tank. I don't know what I'm doing. Getting there. There you go. There you go. I did it. No, don't shoot me, buddy. I walked straight in that, didn't I? I did. Very difficult to navigate. Oh, almost had him. But you get the idea. These are just sort of 1-minute games to quickly sort of switch on and have a play around with sort of thing. You know, there's no big campaigns or anything like that in these games, obviously. OBS is one-button shooter. Press play on tape. And it's OBS, and your ship has been damaged by some space debris. I can't even read what that says. The steering is broken and you cannot navigate. You discover that by firing the laser you can steer. Sort of. Avoid the asteroids and enemy ships and fly home. Wait, I can hear sound. It is almost impossible to hear that, but there is actually sound. Maybe it just doesn't work with certain games, perhaps? I'm going to try that Journey one again real quickly. There is sound. There is actually beeps and boops going on. It's just so difficult to hear that. Maybe my hearing's just bad. If you shove it in your ear canal and have it sort of resting there, you can hear it pretty good. If it's all the way away from the camera, you can't hear it. You'd need a dedicated mic sort of sitting there just to capture the actual sounds of this. But I'm sure you get what's going on at this point. I'm just sort of going through these games just to sort of demonstrate the power of this. But we're still going to tear it down anyways. And this is Space Invaders on your Thumby. And it's Space Invaders. Just think how big the Atari 2600 was back in 1977, and now look at this. Look how far we've come. Amazing. But this is fully playable. Just make sure you actually move and not shoot through your shields. I mean, you can shoot through your shields. You can be strategic if you want to. Next game is Pac-Man. That's gonna be fun. There he goes. Little Pac-Man. Oh, it had sound. Who am I? Where am I even going? Okay, I see where I am. Okay. They can only have 2 ghosts on the screen. You know, not much screen real estate to work with. You're literally working with pixels. And I died. And it does make the little Pac-Man jingle as well, which is kind of neat. It is cool. Come on, you gotta admit, it is really, really cool. I'm gonna just say that for the rest of this video. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I will leave a link in the description below as well for you to buy one, because I think just for someone to have in their collection, when you show this to someone and go, this is a working game console, the majority of people are gonna go, no, it's not. That thing can't play games. Yes, it can. I missed a game. We have Out Thumb. I'm sorry. Which Out Thumb is Outrun. And look at this, it's actually so smooth. Like, I mean, I can't see the cars on screen like they're coming towards me, unless I had it right in front of my face. So if you just kind of guess and go, oh, careful, you can get out of the way of the cars. But yeah, it's Outrun on this tiny little thing. I think that's pretty sick. People have shown Pokemon being emulated on this, like Pokemon Red and Blue. I have yet to find a way to actually do that. I think it's more of just someone showcasing an emulator on this, not the actual console playing it, an emulator, if that makes sense. Saw Run is Dinosaur Run. So if you ever open up Google Chrome, you don't have an internet connection, you'll see the little dinosaur game. This is basically the dinosaur game, but on your Thumby. And I died, and I didn't quit. I want to make it to at least 50 meters. Come on. Come on. Ugh. Look in there. Look at him run. He's running. It does make sound. The speaker would be almost like the size of this thing, wouldn't it? I'm really curious about the internals of this, how they managed to fit everything they could into this. It's going to be the most delicate teardown ever. But you know what? All in the name of science. If I want to buy another one, I can. This is also getting faster, and it's also fun because it's only just one button that you need to press, so you could just hold this and just, you know, one button it. So that's quite fun. And I don't know if it's just me or not, but it does feel like it's warming up a little bit. It could be because I'm literally trying to hold it as best as I can. That could be the reason, but it just does feel a little bit warm. But then again, the processor, how big's the processor in this thing? All these questions I need to get answered. What game do we have next? Space Debris, which I think this was one of the games that was preloaded on this. I'm not too sure. So this is, yeah, just a space shooter again. The lines obviously tell you where your enemies are, I'd assume. Asteroids, it's kind of like this. I'm just, you know, zooming along. Whee! Then my ship's changing directions, and then I go straight to this again, and off I go. As I said, extremely smooth. There are other projects on Tiny Circuit's website, like little tiny arcades and stuff, which I honestly might consider getting, because they're just ridiculously cool. Next up is Stacker, one of my favorite hated games. Now on the size of a nano SIM card, basically. If you choose medium, there you go. And I failed straight away. Once again, another game that you can play with just one hand. Granted, Stacker is a very unforgiving game as it is. And knowing that you don't have much... Oh, no, I failed. Screen real estate to obviously work with. I would love to see if anyone has actually got to the top of that on the hardest mode. Please let me know if you have. Good old tennis. I like tennis. I don't like watching tennis, but I like playing tennis. Not playing tennis in person, but playing tennis as in a game of tennis. You know, like Virtua Tennis. That's fun. I'm first place in Virtua Tennis 4. Feel free to beat my record because no one's ever going to play that game except for me. There we go. I'm now first player and it's Pong. Faithful recreation of Pong. Oh, yeah. Got it. Nice. If you do have the link cable, you can actually play multiplayer with someone. Imagine sitting there playing tennis with someone else like this. It's so cool. I love it. We have Thario up next. This is basically Saw Run, except you're Mario. And you jump over plants and Goombas, I'd say, and collect coins. I'm just going to hold the speaker up to... The Mario model actually looked really good, by the way. I mean, considering Super Mario Bros. Originally. Thumby is up next, which I believe is like sort of Zelda sort of thing. Yeah, you're in a little dungeon, and Yep. And I was killed by stuff in the dungeon. You actually have inventory. But yeah, this is basically a dungeon game that I don't know how to work. We have Tiny Blocks, which is a Tetris clone. Oh boy, Tetris on this. Look at this go. When I played this for the first time, this is the first game that I played on this, I had to hold this right up to my eyeballs to be able to see if my Tetris blocks were going to be in the right space or not, because you have to be pixel perfect or else you are going to fail like I am going to fail right now. And I mean, you know, it still works, but let me just clear a line for you. We'll get there eventually. Oh, hang on, I gotta look. Yeah, no, I've definitely screwed that up for sure. There is sound. Not that you can hear it though, but there is a little beep beep beep. Can't say much more than that. it's Tetris. Very difficult port to play it, but we are up to the last game that I loaded on this. And that is Tiny Monster Trainer, which is pretty much what you would think it is, a Digimon or Tamagotchi or whatever. On this, press A to give your name. Oh dear. Okay, let's just press A to pick my monster. Yep. Good luck. Basically, good luck to trying to use this console is what it's saying. Good luck. The wilderness. And there you go. So it's like a Tamagotchi, but you can also do like little mini games and stuff to train your monster and all that sort of good stuff. Not that I know what I'm doing. There is instructions on the Thumby website, by the way, of how to work these games and do all that sort of stuff. But there you go. It is really, really quite amazing to see that this thing plays games. That is all the games showcased on the Thumby. If you are a fan of retro games and stuff like that, and you want something cool to play with, definitely just grab one of these. Honestly, it's just, if you haven't heard of one, like I had seen them, but I never really looked into it. It was just sort of popped up on Marketplace and I thought, oh, that'd be just really cool to get and look at. And here we are, looking at this tiny little thing. It's just such a cool novelty. One of the best novelties that I've found in quite a long time. Super easy to put games on, just connect it up to the computer, open up the browser, and that's it. Put a game on, problem solved. But yes, highly recommended to purchase one of these for the novelty of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure there might be some on eBay, but there's just limited stock on the Thumby website. And I'm not sponsored or anything by them, by the way. Gotta give them props. Mad props for something like this. Let us try and pull this thing apart. I have worked on a lot of phones, a lot of devices. This is probably the most tiniest device I'm ever going to be disassembling. And I want to take my sweet time doing this. I do not want to rush this because I don't want to break this thing because it's honestly so cool. I am just going to try my hardest to get this apart. Oh dear God. I've made a gap. Oh, I had a gap. I don't think you're meant to take one of these apart, because as you can see, I've loosened up the side, but I've also damaged it quite a lot just trying to take it out. And this is just with plastic tools as well, because there's just not a lot of real estate to try and pull this thing apart. I know I have broken the case, that's for sure. I got it. Oh my God, I know I damaged the casing, but it's okay. Yeah, so it turns out that there was a little tiny piece that holds the two pieces together that I had to break off. That was why it was sort of a bit hesitant to come apart, but I've got it apart now. There is the 40 milliamp hour battery right there. Does it still work though? Yes, it does. It still works. Amazing. Okay. Oh, God. I dropped it so many times during that teardown. That was just not fun at all. But if I lift it out of the casing, very careful. Oh, the buttons are gone. That's okay. I can put the buttons back in. Wowee. There is the display there, which is soldered directly onto the motherboard. It's just literally doing surgery with a toothpick right now. This is insane how they did this. The battery is held down in place just above the speaker just there. That would be the speaker that makes the beepity boops. That's the 40 milliamp hour little spicy pillow. It's not spicy, it's just so tiny. It's just, oh, it's adorable. But obviously under that would be the Raspberry Pi, I would say. There we go. There it is. Oh, actually, was this a heatsink or was it a speaker? Oh, yeah, no, that was the speaker because there's contacts for it, so I have to put that back in the same place now. I believe I can see a Raspberry Pi icon on there. There you go. You can kind of see it. It's just on there, ever so slightly. You can barely see it, but it's there. It's just right there, but that's how big that processor is. I am going to have to reassemble this off camera. Give me a moment to try and sandwich this thing back together and we will finish off this review. By some miracle, I have managed to put it back together. Took me a long time, but I did it. But unfortunately though, I tried to use some adhesive to stick the sides back together, but it's just not really a good fit, unfortunately. I will have to pull it apart again at a later date and try and fix that. But it's going to sit in its box anyway, so it's not a big deal. It does all still work, and I can go back to the Journey game to test the sound. There you go. It definitely does all work, so that's great to see. Once again, a cool little novelty. Highly recommend it to purchase it if you're into retro games or just miniature stuff in general. It's just amazing to see such a tiny little piece of technology being able to do what it can do. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Tiny Circuits does next, that's for sure. I know they have little arcades and stuff like that. We'll keep an eye on that, that's for sure. But if you own a Thumby, feel free to let me know down in the comments. And if you stuff around with them and program for them and code and all that sort of stuff, let me know what you've done for it as well, because it'd be interesting to see what people have done further with this console than what they've already done. So yeah, feel free to let me know. But otherwise, that's it for today's one, I think. This was just a very rambly and chill video, so if you made it to the end of this video without using the timestamps, thank you very much for that. But if you had to use those timestamps, that's all good. That's why they're there, so you can skip along to wherever you need to. It's mostly just taken up with gameplay footage, to be fairly honest, on the tiny itty bitty little display. But regardless, I hope you did enjoy this one for what it was. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I do have a few more other gaming videos that I'd like to get done soon, but I'm editing about 3 videos at the moment, so we'll have to see how we go with that one. But otherwise, everyone, thank you once again. I appreciate it. And as always, please take care, stay safe, and be good people. And I'll see you all in the next video, which will be something. We'll work it out. As I said, editing 3 videos. It's hard being me. What's the hardest part about being you? Mustache. Harvey? If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.